Knott's Berry Farm is one of the most unique theme parks in the Six Flags chain. From the food to the awesome experiences to the immersive ghost town, they really have it all and explains why they're so popular and crowded most of the time. And it's run really well from what I can see. You can even ride a horse-drawn stagecoach around the park and be robbed by an outlaw on the train. This doesn't mean that there aren't a few points of pain for customers though. Today, I'm going to look at some of those pain points like line jumping, slow lines, and unused areas, and how I would fix them. Specifically, we're looking at 5 relatively cheap park improvements Knott's could make to immediately improve park experience. First, let's start with some honorable mentions I thought would be really good, but couldn't make the list. First, I had the idea to give everyone that enters Knott's a free digital photo by the entrance without a watermark. The park doesn't lose that much in doing this, and people are always really grateful for a generous bonus like this, and are more likely to share the park experience on social media. This didn't make the list though because it's more of a general park improvement and not so specific to Knott's, and I already mentioned this in my Magic Mountain video, so it wouldn't be as original of an idea. Second, Jaguar is a great roller coaster that takes you out and around Fiesta Village, but it doesn't draw the same crowds that it used to, being a ride that many people feel like they only need to ride once. I love this ride a lot, but I think if you flipped the train around backwards one day a week, or at nighttime, like every night after 5 or something, you could bring people back to the Jaguar who have been passing it up a lot. Now on to our 5, but first I'm trying to make videos like this as often as I can and let you vote on what comes next. So if you're new and want to join the team, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified when the next video drops. Number 5, fix line jumping. This wasn't originally going to be on my list, but it seems like the more people I talk to, the more line jumping is a common and big concern for them at Knott's. It happened to me at our most recent visit. It was like this: 2 teenagers slowly walked past everyone in the line saying, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me," the whole way up like they were meeting someone at the top. Then they ended up just not meeting up with anyone. Even if they were, it shouldn't be a common thing in a theme park for a group of people to walk through an entire line to join one person. You can just wait. It's hard to perfectly and cleanly fix a problem like this, but if I had to make a systematic change right away to at least improve the situation, here's what I'd do. First, I'd put up a sign like this to let people know that line jumping is not okay and have a number that they can text for help. Maybe a hotline for security or something. Who knows how much people will use it, but I think it would at least make the guests feel like they are heard and seen and hopefully deter some jumpers. Implementing a hotline isn't so simple and putting up a sign probably won't change much, so my next idea is to make it a standard for everyone working a shift on any ride when they finish their shift or rotate to a new ride or leave for a break. They don't leave through the exit like they normally do, but they have to leave backward through the queue looking for anyone jumping the line. If they catch someone, they can throw them out of the park or of the line. I'm not sure yet. And that way you just have people routinely going through the lines every few minutes, maybe once an hour, I don't know how much they change shifts, throwing out line jumpers. No, this won't stop every line jumper, but employees regularly walking through the lines should help to deter the problem a little bit for sure. Number 4, improve the boardwalk area. There are 2 things I noticed in my last visit to Knott's about the boardwalk that could use some love. First, it's hot and sunny without any shade. I get that it's supposed to feel like the beach, but I'd put up some shade throughout, at least over wide open areas where people are hanging out. Second, it feels pretty empty. It's still sad to me that we lost Perilous Plunge, one of the most epic mega splash coasters, whatever you call it, and replaced it with the flying sailboats and a scrambler. They fit the boardwalk vibe nice, but I'd say it's a weaker part of the park and it just ends up feeling pretty empty. This video is about changes on a budget, so I'm not suggesting any ride removals or additions, but 2 things come to mind that would be relatively cheap to add that could contribute a little to the atmosphere. Nothing crazy, but just something to start. First, a photo op, kind of like the ones you stick your face in a hole and take a picture, but instead you're standing on a surfboard and there's like a cardboard or painted wave behind you. So it's a fun photo op in the beach boardwalk area of Knott's Berry Farm, like you're surfing through the barrel, you know? And second, a lifeguard tower. I don't know how much a lifeguard tower costs, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than a coaster. You could put an ice cream stand in the tower, leave it open for people to walk up into and see historic photos, or just put it in the water for people to look at if you're worried about liability. I'm sure there are much better ways to improve the boardwalk area on a budget. Those are just my first ideas, so let me know if you got something. Number 3, keep Ghostrider open at night. The most popular ride in the park is undoubtedly Ghostrider. Because of the slow operations, the fast lane, and its popularity, Ghostrider normally has the longest line in the park and is not even close. I did have a bit of an epiphany when I went to Magic Mountain the other day, and I want to connect that to Ghostrider. So my wife ran to get on Gold Rusher before the park closed, and even though the park didn't close for another 3 minutes, they told her the ride was closed and that she couldn't get on. That was a bummer, not very nice, and even though we had an awesome day overall at the park, that left a kind of bad taste in her mouth, and that taste sort of stayed as we left the park and went home. So as a theme park, if you want guests to have the best memories of your park, the memories they make in the final minutes of the park may be the most important because they're their last. So as a park manager, I'd want to make sure every guest goes home feeling awesome, and I would hate for the joy brought by millions of dollars of coasters to be ruined by a disappointing final 5 minutes. So here's my proposition. People often rush to get on the last ride before the park closes, and sometimes they don't make it. Give the people what they want and leave the queue to Ghostrider open 20 minutes after the rest of the park closes. All the employees in the other areas can still pack up and head home, but that gives everyone a big enough window that they can make sure they finish their night with a coaster, and a great one. And their last moments in the park will be riding one of the best coasters in California, and then they get to go home with that taste in their mouth. I understand that this will probably lead to much of a longer line for Ghostrider and maybe make it stay open even an hour or two more, but I honestly think it's worth it to make sure every guest who is up for it finishes the night with a bang. Also, the Fastpass line, I would say, would still close at 9 p.m. or still close at park closing time, so the lines would still flow a lot faster. Number 2, a Flash Pass solution for normal guests. The other thing I noticed, especially on Hang Time and Ghostrider, is that your wait time can get pretty frustrating when you feel close to the loading station but make hardly any progress because of the constant influx of people with the Fastpass. I know it's fair that those people paid for the premium experience and they're getting it, and I could pay for it if I wanted that experience, but I think there's got to be a better way to allow those willing to pay more without making your normal guests feel like they are kind of like the peasants and being forgotten about, especially when going from the bottom of the stairs in the Ghostrider line when you feel like you finally made it. Going from there to the end of the line still takes about 45 minutes to an hour. My solution is this. For the first 2 to 3 hours of the park opening, make it so fast passes don't apply. One smooth rolling line for everyone. For your normal park goers, it will be a breath of fresh air to know that for the first few hours of the day, the park is putting them first and the lines will move twice as fast. And for premium experience guests with the fast lane, they will still have plenty of time to ride everything in the park, especially because the morning hours are slower, and that can also give them time to ride things that they aren't eligible for with the fast pass, like the train or something, or soak in the other park's experiences like dining or the stagecoach or the huge ghost town. Number 1, keep the Walter Knott Theater open. One last thing I noticed at Knott's is that their Walter Knott Theater is hardly used outside of holiday events, especially on Christmas time. During the season, their Snoopy on Ice show is amazing. Off-season, the theater mostly sits empty and closed. I understand that constantly having shows and performers, especially in low-traffic months, can be really exhausting and a big maintenance hassle or managing hassle. So my proposition is, at least in the off time, set up a projector and constantly run through the episodes of the Peanuts cartoons. They have the rights to them. It doesn't need to be a packed house, just an air-conditioned place where families can go to catch a break from the sun and walking for a bit before continuing with their adventure. And that sums up my top 5. This list is a bit tougher to come up with than the Magic Mountain list, in part because Knott's is so much smaller than Magic Mountain. So if you've gone to this park a lot and have some ideas of your own, let me know in the comments what you think and what you would add. I'm sure there's some genius ideas that I haven't even thought of. So thanks for sticking around to the end, and from here on out, I'm going to end my talking videos with JimmyTips. I know it's a kind of silly name, but that's just what came to my head. So let's finish off with JimmyTip number 1. If you didn't know already, there's an awesome resource called Coast to Coasters that lets you see on a map every roller coaster in the world and the parks they belong to. You can even filter by intensity, coaster count, and other things. It's the perfect way to see if there are any roller coasters near you when on a road trip or a vacation somewhere that you're not too familiar with. And that's a wrap on this video. If you liked the video, please like it. And if you're new here and want to stay in the loop for more content like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and it would really help out the channel too. Here's what's up at Jimmy Does Coasters. I make content about things like park and coaster ratings, park improvements, roller coaster POVs, park predictions, monthly news, and more. I make a new video every week, and whenever I have an available slot to fill, I let you vote on which video should come next. I also post a weekly YouTube poll for Matchup Monday to let subscribers vote on some of the biggest coaster debates, which will tally up at the end of the year for a recap. Also, if you want a sneak peek of my rough draft schedule for the next few weeks, you can check the banner photo on my channel's homepage. I'll keep that updated as new videos roll out. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, and if you want to follow me there, my handles are in the video description. If you've made it to this point of the video, you're awesome, you're a real one. Have an awesome day, and I hope your next coaster ride isn't too far away.